looks like game one's not going to have two of the big draws for that game, Eric. And I know we kind of been talking about no back-to-backs, but not a back-to-back, and we're already missing both our guys. Kind of problematic, would you
Yeah,
say?
that's I would say so. I mean, it's disappointing. I mean, I guess you want them to be healthy, but it was we just don't know so much. But like I said in the last show, like we hadn't seen Joel. Like we didn't see him in the preseason. We hadn't seen him since the Olympics. In the Olympics, we could all say like he didn't look himself. He didn't look himself in the playoffs. So I'm reading where they said they're ramping up for maybe next week. But what's the difference between like seriously? What's the difference between Sunday and Wednesday? Like why is the ramping up for that and not for right now? Like what kind of injury do you have that 3 days is going to kind of make better?
No.
That's like always not just with this injury, like a lot of injuries. That's like puzzling to me. It's like we all know when the season is going to start, but you're ramping up to not start the season.
Yeah.
So are we to believe that in a few days you'll be one like you'll be great? Like it brings more questions than I probably realized by not playing in the first game. And then if
And
you
I,
add Paul in there, the difference with Paul is that um, the difference with Paul is he played and we kind of seen what happened. So it's some we kind of know like okay, it's this is what happened. The unknown is how long he's out. But with Joel was just so many unknowns. Like the ramp up, the 5-on-5, like you just now doing that? And if you're just now doing that, then why are you just now doing
mhm. It- from what the kind of the discourse I'm seeing online from a lot of fans and a lot of
that?
people
So
are rightfully questioning. He played in the Olympics, and then all of a sudden there was no seeming. Yeah, he didn't look right, but there was no seemingly injury, and that was 2 months ago. And now 2 months after the Olympics, he's not playing. And people are saying they're questioning the priorities there. If you weren't good enough, if you weren't healthy enough, then why did you play in the Olympics? And now you're putting your actual season in jeopardy.
I mean that's a legitimate gripe. That's a legitimate gripe. Um, because like I said, if people were I've read where and people have said to me that he shouldn't have played in the playoffs. That the Sixers did him a disservice then. Um, so for him to play in the playoffs and people feel that's a disservice, then to go to the Olympics and play in that, and to not be ready to go in the first game, like that's kind of odd to me. Like I say, it's just it's a lot of unknowns. I don't want to throw out stuff that don't make sense and obviously isn't true because I don't know. Um, but I have to like I wonder like did he have some form of off season procedure that we don't know about? Like we don't know. But I'm just really puzzled at how over 2.5, almost 3 months out from the Olympics that he can't play in game one. I mean, we put out like three different statements about him. He wasn't playing in the preseason. He's not going to play back to backs, and now he's not going to play the first game. So when you decided not to play him in the preseason, what is he doing then when you made that announcement? Because that announcement was what a week or two ago. Whenever you made that announcement, why was he not ramping things up then? So did you really keep him out of preseason because he wasn't ready, or he like if it's conditioning, then why is this conditioning behind? So something's holding him out that I think if the team is kind of more, I don't want to say honest about it because I don't think they're being dishonest. I just don't think they're saying anything. But that makes it more concerning to me. Like I have right now, I have. It's hard for me to have faith that we're going to have him for the majority of the season. It's hard for me to have faith in that right now because I don't have anything to go on.
Yeah. And to go from back-to-back reports of Joel himself saying, I'll probably will never play back-to-backs ever again in my career. And then a week later, we're seeing him miss the first week. They're already ruled out for the first week of the season. So it's like, what's going on here?
Did they say the first week? Did they say he was out the first week?
First week. So I guess being reevaluated on Sunday, I believe. So, yeah, the first week is what is being reported for PG and Embiid.
So not a full week, but just the first week of the NBA season.
I believe so. Yeah, it just said the first week of the NBA season. So missing tonight, missing Friday,
because the first week of the NBA season, and you're out a week means from Wednesday to next Wednesday. That's what I'm trying to clarify.
Yeah,
that could be an extra 1 or 2 games.
Yeah, so it looks like it's going to definitely be under that 65 threshold, Eric.
That's not something I want, but I mean, I said it for a reason. I mean, that's just what I felt based on what we're seeing now, just the uncertainty and not knowing what's going on. There was just so many unknowns.
Yeah, and like you said, at least with Paul's injury, we saw, right, he was playing in preseason, and we saw the hyperextension, and we saw usually those take about 2 weeks maybe to heal up from. And so we see what's going on there, but there's a vagueness and a lot of not filling in the blanks as to what's going on with Embiid's what's going on with him right now. Do you think there's a possibility? I know you said maybe a surgery that may have happened this offseason. Do you think there might have been something that happened between Olympics to now, after the Olympics, that he might have, he could have hurt something potentially? I mean, the fact that he played during that and then not playing now is just it's weird.
I mean, like I said, I don't want to I'm not trying to start a rumor,
right?
Because I do not know whether that happened. I'm saying that the way that things have gone, it leads me to believe that it was possible that he had some form of procedure during that offseason.
Right.
The being cautious for the season and making sure he's there in the postseason, I get all that. But to not play to start the season is not really the answer for all that.
Yeah.
So it's more to it. You can start the season and maybe don't go on the road trip, but you start the season at home. So this, man, as a Sixer fan, you have to be a little disappointed, and because there's something about when guys being injured and you happen to see the injury, or you kind of we were told about it. We're told about a procedure, but like I said, it's just so much with this that we don't know, which makes it probably worse. And watching and being a fan, just because it's just like, well, I mean, who knows when he's going to come back, and when he comes back, how is he going to look?
Yeah.
So they're putting out reports, like somebody from the Sixers putting out reports that he's ramping up and he needs to play 5-on-5. But as a season start, when are they going to ramp up and play 5-on-5?
Not a lot of
outside
time.
of the games. When they don't practice.
In the ballrooms of hotels.
No, I'm just saying, like, when are they going to, like, when are they going to do it enough for him to get a real look of how a game is going to look? It's the only way he's going to get that now is in the game.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
you might even see a
you
minutes
ramp up
restriction
to
with
play.
him.
I'm just saying you ramp up to see whether you can hold up to playing in the game, and then it's the actual playing in the game and the conditioning and the energy and the banging that it takes to play a game. Um, it's just gonna be hard to. It's gonna take a minute for him to build up to some form of consistency in playing. I mean, I guess not playing the back to backs will help. And I believe you said the last show that we don't. Most of our back to backs are after January,
Yep.
so he's going to have to. Something's going to have to happen. Like I don't know. Like I haven't seen anything positive about it. Them being out. Like I just don't know. I think people had come to grips with accepting the whole not playing back to backs. I
Yep.
think that if you can, if you're playing well and the outcome is good in the end of the season, I don't think many people fought that. But the uncertainty of not starting the season is hard to kind of deal with.
Yeah, I mean, I have a few friends, NBA friends, and they messaged me about the back to back thing. They're like, was that a real quote from him, or is that one of those made up NBA accounts that made that quote up?" And I was like, "No, that's a real quote from a real article." So that was, a lot of people, just think that's before season begins. You're already saying blanket statement, "I will never play in my
Yes.
career again." It's just
Yes.
it's an odd comment to make.
Yes. Well, I mean, to say it, you're saying it for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what I said before is like we didn't let the season kind of go and see how the season was going, then make that statement. So to make that statement so early and to make it in the preseason, you're making it for a reason. Either how you feel, how you felt, you know what I'm saying? Like how you kind of viewing the future, like you saying it for a reason.
Yeah.
Because nobody really says that in the NBA in the preseason. You'll see guys say it like I say, as the season goes on, people are like, yeah, we're going to hold them out of back to backs. Or we're going to hold them out of, long travel, just mix it up or whatever your plan may end up being. But to have that plan now. So, but what you also do is you also put expectations on the fans, or fans' expectations of you saying we're not playing back to back. That means you are playing the other games then.
Yeah.
So why now are you sitting out?
Yeah.
Which I think made it worse for the start of the season.
Yeah, because based on this, you could at least, like you said, at least go into the season once the first back-to-back comes. Oh, we're going to hold him out for the back-to-backs. Right away, you're already giving that expectation that, at least he's going to play the first game of the season, and when those aren't back-to-backs. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
The one silver lining is
then you held him out in the what I'm saying, but then you held him out in the preseason. So you're saying he's not going to play the preseason. So if you say someone's not going to play the preseason, we're going to hold him out. The last things you're thinking is maybe it shouldn't be the last that we're thinking is that he wouldn't play the start of the season. Maybe you should just be saying, well, if he's not playing now, then maybe he's not going to play when the season starts. Yeah. But on a, that's kind of thinking on the negative tone, but thinking on a positive tone, you're like, okay, well, if they're going to rest him and hold him out and he just going, the old school it with no preseason game, just go right to the regular season. But he's going right to the regular season anyway, whenever he comes back. Yeah. So yeah, it was kind of mixed bag with that.
Yeah. Yeah. The one silver lining is it's a very deep team, so to speak. So if we've built this team pretty deep this offseason, and obviously a lot of new pieces though, so we need to see how they mesh and work together. But that's the one good thing with this thing, if you can find a good thing with this. But with PG out and Embiid out, Eric, we'll get to who's going to be the guys who step up in the games without them. But in the starting lineup of things, Who do you think the starting five will be tomorrow night with PG and Embiid out?
Um, we played Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
I would say Drummond would be in. I would, Martin, Kelly, obviously Maxi. I say we start. I think we're going to start big, and Yabusele may be in there at the four. I would be surprised if we still go small with Lopez and Giannis. But I guess you can do that. I mean they brought Martin in to play four, so he's know he's going to have to guard some of those guys. Um, but I would say they start big and then kind of go small when Milwaukee starts subbing or our rotations. But it would not shock me for them to insert maybe Gordon or somebody like that in Paul's place along with Drummond. So I would say Gordon or Yabusele, one of the two.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Yabusele.
But I just think it really just depends on how they want to guard Giannis. That's what I think the decision to come down to that. I think if we were playing maybe like Boston, I think would be Gordon, obviously, or someone on a perimeter player easily.
Yeah.
Or Jackson, you know what I'm saying, Gordon or Jackson, someone like that. It would, or even Kyle. Like I don't know. It would easily be a guard or a wing player. I'm just kind of not sure how they plan on defending Giannis to start.
Yeah. Yeah. Bigger team. Yeah, it would make sense to go with a bigger lineup with Yabusele and Drummond.